What's up, Flick Connection? I just watched the Netflix original movie, Okja, and I want to talk about the controversy behind this movie. And believe it or not, the controversy really has nothing to do with the subject matter of the film. It actually has to do with waves Netflix is currently making in the film industry. So instead of a review, and I will talk about the movie and what I liked about it, I did think it was a good movie. In fact, I think it's one of the best things Netflix has put out. It's not a masterpiece, it's not going to win a ton of awards or anything like that, but it was very, very good. It was entertaining, well-paced, well-directed, engaging, interesting. It had a lot going for it. Really good cast, but I don't want to get bogged down in all of that. I just want to say it was good. I recommend it. But what I really want to talk about is the waves, as I said, that Netflix is starting to make with the way they're making films, the way they're approaching the filmmaking process, the way they're wanting to release movies. This movie is a good example. Because of some of the things that happened with this movie, we could look back and see Okja as being one of the most, if not the most significant movie of 2017. So what am I talking about? For starters, this film potentially caused Netflix to be effectively banned from the Cannes Film Festival in France. That's a very big deal because that's one of the largest, if not the largest, film festival in the world. It's very significant. And what happened was this film was entered, even in the posters, they have the little seal, the official selection Cannes Film Festival seal on the posters. So Netflix was obviously proud of that, and they should be. But there was a lot of uproar, a lot of rumblings about this film, and ultimately what happened was the powers that be at the Cannes Film Festival made a new rule that goes into effect this year where the films entered have to have a theatrical run in France, where the film festival is held. They haven't done that in the past. This is really a international film festival. It would seem, and I'm not the only one speculating this, it would seem that they did this specifically to eliminate Netflix from entering this prestigious film festival. Why would they do that? Netflix is really trying to change the way, not the way films are produced necessarily, but the way that they're released. And what they're doing is, for starters, this year, 2017, Netflix has 30 original films set to release. Some of them are major. In December, there is a $100 million budget David Ayers flick starring Will Smith. Comes out at the end of the year, holiday season. It's going to be on Netflix the day it comes out. The establishment film industry does not like this. The theater companies do not like this. In America, there are 3 major theater companies. Now, there are a lot more, but there are 3 major ones. AMC has over 600 theaters in the country. Regal has almost 600 theaters in the country, and Cinemark has about half that. And they make up the vast, vast majority. And so what happens with projects like this, if those 3 giants decide not to put a film in their theaters, they essentially kill it. And this can happen after a budget has been spent, a considerable budget, and they can kill a movie. Okja is supposed to come out in a handful of theaters, and I don't believe Netflix was really banking on it having a huge theatrical run in the US. I think that was more of a that's more of a publicity thing. They want the filmmakers want people to see it in a theater. They believe it should be seen in a theater. I just watched it at home. I agree. I have the luxury of a 100-inch projection screen, so I have a pretty close to a theater-like presentation in my home without anybody really annoying sitting next to me. But not everybody has that. This is not really a good movie to watch on your laptop on your phone. You'll enjoy it, but you really won't get as much out of it. It's about this giant creature, and you're just not going to really feel it on a smaller screen. But that could be said for a lot of movies. And this film has a Korean director, Joon-ho Bong. He has directed movies like Snowpiercer, which did really well on streaming and particularly on Netflix, which I think is a big reason they picked this film up and decided to produce it. He's well respected there, but this movie is not going to play in theaters there. The major theater companies there have decided not to allow it, and it has to do with the way Netflix is wanting to release things. Netflix is wanting their subscribers to have access to these movies when they get released. On the other side of the coin, Amazon Instant Video is also producing movies. Amazon Studios is, I would say, they're producing TV series just as good as Netflix, and they've started movies. But with their movies, they're coming out in theaters. They're having award show runs. They're even coming out and having a paid to rent, purchase, or even DVD runs for a couple of months before Amazon's putting them on. So they're essentially going down a traditional route, and then they're making them available on their service. Amazon, just to compare the two, won Academy Awards this past year. Manchester by the Sea is one of theirs. It got 2, and then they had another foreign film that won an Oscar as well. So Amazon is sort of playing by the rules, so to speak, and they're being rewarded for it. Netflix is really kind of butting against the system, and they're being penalized. I have to side with Netflix. The director of Okja has said that his film should be seen in theaters, but the area where I really respect his opinion is, while as a filmmaker he's correct, the experience is better in a theater. That's where the picture was designed to be viewed, but Netflix subscribers effectively funded this movie. Now you could say that for a lot of movies, but not quite in the same way, because this movie was funded with Netflix dollars, which means your subscription fees you've been paying went in part to fund the production before the production of this movie. So this movie would not have been made, at least it wouldn't have been made the way it was, without your $8 a month. So he feels you deserve to be able to see this movie the day it comes out. I love that. I think that's fantastic. I really had a good time watching it tonight. And I like being made to feel like we, the Netflix subscribers, are at least somewhat responsible for the content that they're producing. Another benefit to this type of format is creative freedom. Filmmakers that have done projects for Netflix, including Adam Sandler, who signed a 6-movie deal, whether you like his films or not, he has said on multiple interviews that he resisted the idea. Someone told him he should do it. He should meet with Netflix. When he finally did, they offered him a considerable amount of money to make 6 films, and they have no real restrictions on what he's able to do. Now, there may be a few, but he doesn't have producers hanging over him the way a lot of other directors might. Bring up David Ayer's film again, Bright, which comes out in December. It looks really interesting, but his last one, Suicide Squad, sucked. And a lot of the news surrounding that was that the production company meddled too much. There was a lot of interference. Bright looks like a similar type of film for David Ayer. So it'll be interesting to see if, given more creative freedom, lets him redeem himself for Suicide Squad. I can wait for the movie. I'm really over Will Smith. David Ayers has not really impressed me with maybe only a couple of his films. So I could totally wait for this movie. It's probably not even something I would bother to go see in the theater, but I'm very, very interested to see if Netflix's approach allows a director to do a better job, allows them to do what they want to do, and if that results in a better film. I can't wait to see if that's the case. So I think the big takeaway here is So if you like what I'm saying and you like what Netflix is doing, support them, not just with your subscription, but give them the views on these films that they're producing with your money, essentially. You're paying for these movies in part. Not all of them are home runs, but Okja is great. I really recommend it. It was fantastic. Me and my wife both really enjoyed it. It's heavy at times, but it's different. The cast is great, like I said before. I don't want to do a review. Rather than that, I really wanted to share some of the more interesting aspects of this film and some of the controversy surrounding it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like what Netflix is doing? Do you think maybe they should get in line a little bit more in order to make sure that these films continue to be made? Or do you think they should continue to be rebels, which they are definitely intending to do, and possibly change the way we watch new release films in the future? The reason I said that this could be the most important film of the year is because if Netflix is successful with what they're trying to do, they will change the way movies are watched in the future, possibly for the better. At the very least, people will have more access to films, and creators may have more creative freedom. Right now, it appears that they do. Hopefully, that's part of the model that works, and the powers that be recognize that and allow that to continue. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing on this channel, please like and subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.